The Council's decision. The crystalline chamber of the Intergalactic Trade Alliance shimmered with 1,000 colors as representatives from across the known galaxy filed into their designated seats. The massive hall, floating in space above the neutron star Celestia Prime, had hosted countless decisions that shaped the cosmos. Today would be no different. Ambassador Zixthul of the Kralaxian Empire adjusted his ceremonial robes as he took his place at the high table. His 4 pairs of compound eyes scanned the vast assembly. Representatives from over 300 species had gathered for this emergency session. The air buzzed with anticipation, tentacles twitched nervously, and the telepathic chatter of the psychic races created a constant background hum. "Order," commanded High Arbitrator Mexlor, his voice resonating through the chamber's translation systems. The ancient being, whose species had long ago transcended physical form, manifested as a swirling vortex of pure energy. "We convene today to discuss a matter of grave importance, the discovery of a new species on the planet designated as Earth." Holographic displays materialized throughout the chamber, showing a blue-green planet orbiting a yellow star. The images zoomed in, revealing primitive cities, crude vehicles, and the bipedal creatures called humans. Ambassador Gulcrix of the Zorani Confederation rose to speak. Her crystalline form reflected the chamber's lights as she gestured with delicate appendages. "Esteemed Council, our survey teams have completed their assessment of this world. What we have found is disappointing." The displays shifted, showing scenes of human conflicts, environmental damage, and technological limitations. These creatures barely possess faster-than-light technology. Their weapons are primitive projectile-based systems. They squabble among themselves constantly, divided by arbitrary borders and ideological differences. Murmurs of disdain rippled through the assembly. The Kralaxian representatives' mandibles clicked in amusement. They haven't even unified their own planet, yet they dare to venture into space. "Precisely," Velcrix continued. "Their resources, however, are valuable. Their planet is rich in rare elements, and their location near the Orion Transit Corridor makes them strategically important. I propose we follow standard protocol for primitive species, subjugation, and resource extraction." High Arbitrator Mexlor's energy form pulsed thoughtfully. "Are there any objections to this assessment?" Ambassador Grixnull of the Ethereal Consortium floated forward, his gaseous form coalescing into a vaguely humanoid shape. "I have reviewed their cultural output. They show potential for artistic expression and emotional depth. Perhaps we should consider them for the Cultural Preservation Program instead." Laughter echoed through the chamber. Zixthul stood, his massive frame towering over the other representatives. "Cultural preservation. For a species that still burns fossil fuels and fights over imaginary deities, the Kralaxian Empire seconds the motion for subjugation. Their resources will serve the greater galactic community far better than their primitive squabbling." The vote was swift and nearly unanimous. Only the Ethereal Consortium and the enigmatic Void Dwellers abstained. The decision was made. Earth would be brought under Alliance control, its resources harvested, its people put to work in the great factories and mines that fueled the galactic economy. 3 standard cycles later, the first contact fleet emerged from hyperspace at the edge of Earth's solar system. Commander Vexnar of the Zorani Confederation stood on the bridge of the flagship Celestial Hammer, watching as Earth grew larger on the view screen. "Such a beautiful world," his second-in-command commented, almost ashamed to strip it clean. "Beauty serves no purpose without utility," Vexnar replied. "Begin the subjugation protocols. Deploy the compliance beacons." Massive structures descended through Earth's atmosphere, positioning themselves above major cities. The beacons activated, broadcasting a message in every human language. "People of Earth, you have been selected for integration into the Intergalactic Trade Alliance. Resistance is futile and will be met with appropriate force. Stand down and await processing." The response was not what they expected. Within hours, every beacon was under attack. Crude but surprisingly effective missiles rose from hidden silos. Fighter aircraft swarmed the alien structures. And most shocking of all, energy weapons that shouldn't have existed on Earth blazed from mountain strongholds. "Commander," the tactical officer shouted, "we're detecting massive energy signatures from beneath the planet's surface. They're powering up some kind of planetary defense grid." Vexnar stared in disbelief as a shimmering shield enveloped Earth. His scanners showed technology that rivaled, no, surpassed, some of the Alliance's most advanced systems. "Impossible," he whispered. The survey showed no evidence of such technology. A communication request appeared on his console. With trembling appendages, he accepted it. The image that appeared was of a human female in a military uniform, her eyes hard and determined. "This is General Sarah Chen of United Earth Defense Command," she announced. "Your so-called compliance beacons have been neutralized. You have 1 hour to withdraw your forces from our solar system." Vexnar's crystalline skin flushed with indignation. "You dare threaten the might of the Intergalactic Trade Alliance? We represent 300 advanced civilizations." General Chen's smile was cold. "And you made one critical mistake. You assumed our visible technology represented our true capabilities. Humanity has been preparing for this moment for centuries. We knew you were out there, watching, judging. So we hid our true strength." As if on cue, space around the alien fleet rippled. Ships materialized from seemingly nowhere, human vessels that defied everything the Alliance knew about Earth's capabilities, sleek, powerful, and bristling with weapons that made Vexnar's sensors scream warnings. "You see," Chen continued, "we've been reverse engineering crashed alien ships for generations. We've developed technologies in secret that your surveys could never detect. And we've been waiting for someone to make the mistake of trying to enslave us." The human fleet moved into attack formation. Vexnar watched in horror as his supposedly superior force was suddenly outnumbered and outgunned. "This is your final warning," General Chen declared. "Leave now, or face the consequences of underestimating humanity." For the first time in his long career, Commander Vexnar felt true fear. The primitive species they had voted to enslave had just revealed itself as something far more dangerous than anyone had imagined. As his fleet began its hasty retreat, Vexnar knew that the Intergalactic Trade Alliance had made a terrible mistake, one that would soon shake the very foundations of galactic civilization. The humans were coming, and they were angry. The turn of tables. The emergency session of the Intergalactic Trade Alliance convened in chaos. High Arbitrator Mexlor's energy form crackled with agitation as Commander Vexnar's report played across the chamber's holographic displays. The images showed the devastating effectiveness of Earth's hidden defenses and the humiliating retreat of the First Contact Fleet. "This cannot be accurate." Ambassador Zixthul roared, his mandibles clacking furiously. "A primitive species does not simply develop such technology in secret. The evidence speaks for itself," Vexnar replied, his crystalline form still bearing the stress fractures from his hasty escape. "They've been playing us for fools, hiding their true capabilities while we arrogantly assumed superiority." Ambassador Velikrix attempted to maintain composure. "Perhaps this is merely a temporary setback. We should mobilize a larger force, overwhelming them with sheer numbers." Her words were cut short as alarms blared throughout the chamber. A communications officer rushed in, his tentacles flailing in panic. "High Arbitrator, human fleets have emerged from hyperspace at 17 Alliance core worlds simultaneously." The chamber erupted in pandemonium. Representatives scrambled to contact their homeworlds, only to receive reports of human ships appearing as if from nowhere, demonstrating technology that seemed to bend the very laws of physics. On the bridge of the human flagship Prometheus, Admiral Marcus Rodriguez coordinated the galaxy-wide operation with calm precision. The massive holographic display before him showed the positions of human forces across Alliance space. "Status report," he commanded. "All strike groups have successfully deployed," Admiral reported Commander Liu. The Alliance is in complete disarray. Their defense networks can't track our phase shift drives. Rodriguez nodded grimly. Initiate Phase 2. It's time to show them what humanity is truly capable of. Across the galaxy, human ships unleashed weapons that defied conventional understanding. Graviton pulse cannons that could tear apart the fabric of space-time. Quantum disruptors that caused enemy vessels to simply cease existing. And most terrifying of all, the reality anchors that prevented Alliance ships from escaping into hyperspace. On the Krylaxian homeworld, Ambassador Zixthal watched in horror as human dreadnoughts materialized above his planet's capital. The pride of the Krylaxian fleet, ships that had conquered dozens of worlds, were swatted aside like insects. Impossible, he whispered, watching his people's mighty warships crumble under the assault. How could we have been so blind? The answer came in a priority transmission from Earth. General Sarah Chen's face appeared on screens across the Alliance, her expression a mixture of determination and controlled anger. People of the Intergalactic Trade Alliance, she began. For centuries, you have preyed upon species you deemed inferior. You have stripped worlds bare, enslaved populations, and justified your actions with claims of superiority. Today that ends. She gestured, and the display split to show classified historical footage. Ancient human civilizations discovering crashed alien vessels. Secret government programs reverse engineering extraterrestrial technology. Underground cities built to house humanity's true technological development. We learned of your alliance long ago, Chen continued. We studied your methods, your arrogance, your assumption that visible technology equaled actual capability. So we hid. We developed in secret. We prepared for the day when you would come for us. The footage showed human scientists making breakthrough after breakthrough, each discovery carefully concealed from prying alien eyes. Massive shipyards hidden in asteroid fields, research facilities buried beneath Earth's oceans, an entire shadow civilization dedicated to one goal, ensuring humanity would never be enslaved. Your own laws and customs worked against you, Chen explained. You only surveyed planets from orbit, never delving deeper. You dismissed anomalies as sensor glitches. You were so confident in your superiority that you never considered the possibility of deliberate deception on a planetary scale. Back in the Alliance chamber, representatives were frantically trying to organize a coherent response. Ambassador Velcrix attempted to maintain order. We must negotiate. Surely the humans will see reason. Her words were drowned out by incoming reports. The Zorani Confederation's orbital shipyards were gone, vaporized by weapons that shouldn't exist. The Ethereal Consortium's energy harvesting stations were being systematically dismantled. Even the enigmatic Void Dwellers were retreating from human space. High Arbitrator Mexlor's energy form flickered with unprecedented instability. We must sue for peace. Contact the human command. Tell them we wish to negotiate terms. The response came swiftly. Admiral Rodriguez himself appeared on the chamber's main display. The Intergalactic Trade Alliance wishes to negotiate. His laugh was without humor. How interesting. When you voted to enslave our world, was there negotiation? When you've stripped countless planets bare, did you negotiate with their inhabitants? Please, Mexlor pleaded, his ancient dignity crumbling. We acknowledge our error. We will make reparations. Reparations. Rodriguez's eyes flashed. You will do far more than that. Earth is assuming control of the Alliance. Your predatory practices end today. Every enslaved species will be freed. Every exploited world will be restored, and you will all answer for your crimes. The Admiral gestured, and new images appeared. Human ships escorting freed slaves back to their homeworlds. Human terraforming technology restoring devastated planets. Human medical teams treating species that had suffered under Alliance rule. We prepared for war, Rodriguez said, but we also prepared for peace. A just peace. You have a choice. Accept our terms and help us build a better galaxy, or face the consequences of your past actions. Ambassador Grixnull of the Ethereal Consortium was the first to respond. The consortium accepts Earth's terms. We should have listened to our own concerns about your species' potential. One by one, other representatives followed suit. The mighty Kralaxian Empire, its fleet shattered and pride broken, capitulated. The Zorani Confederation, faced with the loss of their technological advantage, surrendered. Even the ancient void dwellers emerged from their dimensional refuges to acknowledge Earth's dominion. Only High Arbitrator Mexlor remained silent, his energy form dimming as the reality of the situation sank in. The alliance he had guided for millennia was no more. In its place, something new was being born. A galactic community led not by exploitation and force, but by the species they had so foolishly underestimated. As human ships took position above every major alliance world, as human administrators began the massive task of restructuring galactic civilization, one truth became crystal clear. The age of humanity had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same. The hunters had become the hunted. The would-be enslavers now found themselves at the mercy of those they had sought to subjugate, and in the depths of space, on a small blue planet that had hidden its true nature for so long, humanity prepared to reshape the cosmos in its own image, pleading for mercy. The Grand Tribunal of Terra stood as a testament to humanity's newfound power. Built in orbit above Earth, the massive structure combined human architectural sensibilities with appropriated alien technology. Its central chamber, large enough to hold representatives from every known species, now hosted the most significant trial in galactic history. Former High Arbitrator Mexlor, his energy form contained within a specialized field, faced the human judges. Around him sat the former leaders of the Intergalactic Trade Alliance, once mighty beings reduced to defendants pleading for mercy. Chief Justice Elena Kovac presided over the proceedings, her augmented eyes scanning the assembled crowd. The charges are as follows: conspiracy to commit planetary enslavement, systematic exploitation of developing civilizations, genocide through resource extraction, and crimes against sentience. How do you plead? Ambassador Zixthul was the first to break. The once proud Kralaxian warrior prostrated himself before the tribunal. "Mercy," he cried, his mandibles quivering. "We were blind to our own arrogance. We beg for the chance to make amends." One by one, the former alliance leaders echoed his plea. Velcrix of the Zorani Confederation offered her people's entire technological database as reparation. The ethereal consortium pledged their energy manipulation expertise to restore damaged worlds. Even the enigmatic void dwellers emerged fully into normal space, revealing secrets they had hoarded for eons. General Sarah Chen, now Earth's chief military advisor, watched the proceedings with mixed emotions. She turned to Admiral Rodriguez, who stood beside her. "It's almost pitiful, isn't it? These beings who terrorized the galaxy for millennia, reduced to begging." Rodriguez nodded. "The question is, what kind of victors will we be? Will we repeat their mistakes, or forge a better path?" The answer came as Chief Justice Kovac delivered her verdict. "The tribunal recognizes your pleas for mercy. However, mercy must be balanced with justice. Your crimes cannot go unpunished, but neither will we perpetuate the cycle of oppression you created." She outlined humanity's terms. The former alliance leadership would serve as advisors in rebuilding the worlds they had exploited. Their advanced technologies would be shared freely. Their military forces would be disbanded and reformed under human oversight as a peacekeeping coalition. Most importantly, they would help establish a new galactic government based on equality and mutual benefit. "But understand this," Kovac continued, her voice carrying the weight of humanity's journey. "We will be watching. The moment you attempt to return to your old ways, the moment you try to exploit rather than elevate, you will face the full might of Earth's true capabilities." As the tribunal adjourned, a remarkable transformation began across the galaxy. Human engineers worked alongside Zorani scientists to develop clean energy solutions. Kralaxian warriors, their aggression redirected, became protectors of vulnerable species. The ethereal consortium's artistic knowledge was used to preserve and celebrate the cultures that had nearly been erased. On a restored world in the Outer Rim, formerly enslaved beings watched in amazement as human terraforming technology brought life back to their devastated homeland. Elder Thurix, who had spent centuries in Alliance labor camps, wept openly as the first raindrops fell on soil that had been barren for generations. "I never thought I would see my world green again," she whispered to the human engineer beside her. Lieutenant James Chen smiled gently. "This is what humanity always dreamed of. Not conquest, but cooperation. We hid our strength not out of fear, but to ensure that when we finally revealed ourselves, we could create lasting change." Back on Earth, in a secure facility deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, General Chen met with the planet's true leadership, the Council of Preparation, whose families had guided humanity's secret development for generations. "Phase 3 is proceeding as planned," she reported. "The former alliance is being successfully integrated into our new framework." The Council's chairwoman, Dr. Amelia Santos, nodded approvingly. "And the other contingencies still in place," Chen confirmed. "The quantum bombs remain hidden throughout Alliance space. The reality anchors are operational, if they ever attempt to betray us." "They won't," Santos interrupted. "Not because of our weapons, but because we've shown them a better way. Fear created their empire. Hope will sustain ours." As months turned to years, the galaxy witnessed an unprecedented renaissance. Technologies once hoarded were shared freely. Species that had been isolated for millennia reconnected. Trade flourished based on mutual benefit rather than exploitation. The Intergalactic Trade Alliance was officially dissolved, replaced by the United Galactic Commonwealth. At its heart stood Earth, not as a conqueror, but as a guide and guardian. During the Commonwealth's inaugural celebration, High Arbitrator Mexlor, now serving as a historical advisor, approached Admiral Rodriguez. His energy form, once imposing, now flickered with humility. "I must know," Mexlor asked, "how long had humanity been planning this? How did you hide so much from us?" Rodriguez smiled. "The first alien ship crashed on Earth in 1947, in a place called Roswell. From that moment, we knew we weren't alone. We also knew that the galaxy operated on a principle of might makes right. So we prepared. But the deception, the scale of it. Every nation on Earth agreed to the plan," Rodriguez explained. "We put aside our differences, united by a common goal. We created a surface civilization that appeared primitive while developing our true capabilities in secret. We studied your alliance, learned your weaknesses, and waited for the moment when you would inevitably come for us." Mexlor's form pulsed with understanding. "You turned our own arrogance against us." "Exactly. You saw what you expected to see. A divided, primitive species ripe for exploitation. You never considered that it might all be an elaborate deception." As the celebration continued, General Chen took the podium for the keynote address. The assembled representatives, former oppressors and liberated alike, fell silent. "Today marks the beginning of a new era," she declared. "An era where strength serves justice, where technology uplifts rather than oppresses, where the mistakes of the past guide us toward a better future." She paused, looking out at the crowd. "We chose to hide our capabilities not out of fear, but out of wisdom. We knew that revealing ourselves too soon would only make us another player in a game of cosmic exploitation. Instead, we waited until we could change the game entirely. To those who once sought to enslave us, we offer redemption. To those who suffered under the old system, we offer hope. And to the galaxy as a whole, we offer a simple truth. Humanity will not allow the strong to prey upon the weak. Not now. Not ever." The chamber erupted in applause. Tentacles waving, energy forms pulsing, voices from 1,000 different species united in approval. In the depths of space, monitoring stations tracked the implementation of humanity's vision. Former Alliance worlds flourished under new management. Species that had never known freedom explored the stars as equals, and at the center of it all, Earth stood vigilant, no longer hiding, no longer pretending weakness, but demonstrating that true strength lay not in domination, but in the elevation of all. The beings who had voted to enslave Earth now served as living reminders of the price of arrogance. Their pleas for mercy had been heard and answered, not with vengeance, but with the opportunity for redemption. As the first century of the United Galactic Commonwealth drew to a close, historians would mark this period as the Great Turning, the moment when humanity emerged from the shadows to reshape the cosmos, proving that sometimes the greatest power lies not in what you reveal, but in what you choose to conceal until the perfect moment. And in the vast expanse of space, on countless worlds and space stations, beings of all species whispered the same truth. Never again would anyone underestimate the children of Earth. Part 3 ends. Word count: approximately 2,000 words. The complete story: every species voted to enslave Earth. Now they all plead for mercy, explores humanity's triumph through careful planning, hidden strength, and the wisdom to use power for justice rather than oppression.